Turning our attention to the Middle East, where Turkey has strongly criticized the U.S. for announcing plans to create a new 30,000-strong border force in northern Syria. It's going to include fighters from the Kurdish YPG, which Ankara considers to be a terrorist group.
The U.S. is taking worrying steps to legitimize this organization and make it lasting in the region. It is absolutely not possible for this to be accepted. Turkey will continue its fight against any terrorist organization, regardless of its name and shape, within and outside its borders.
Of the 30,000 personnel to be recruited to the force, 15,000 will be from the Syrian Democratic Forces, a rebel faction in Syria's civil war. The intention is to place them close to Syria's northern border with Turkey in order to maintain security. The announcement comes after the U.S. revealed it intends to stay in Syria, even though Islamic State has been defeated.
The President has committed, as a matter of strategy, that we will not leave Syria. We're going to stay for several reasons: stabilization and assistance in the vital north and northeast, protection of our allies, the Syrian Democratic Forces, who have fought so valiantly against ISIS in the northeast, try to work to help transform the political structures in that area to a model for the rest of Syria.
Suddenly, Turkey and Bashar Assad regime has common interest. If they do not act together, the Kurds, with the support of the United States of America, will control the entire North Syria. So the Turkish statements yesterday and today by President and also his speaker says that Turkey is on the way to undertake military measures. Probably Turkey can do this. I think the Turkish-American cooperation as two NATO partners will have now a new different dimension where Turkey and America have totally different interests. The Turkish, Russian and the Iranian treaty in Astana says that the three guarantee powers provide the territorial and ethnic unity of Syrian states. The fact is now who is going to stabilize what regions and what type of new situation, whether political autonomy or new territorial state is emerging. I don't know.
The news continues right after this.
يا الله يا الله غارات جوية روسية وسورية تستهدف النازحين في ريف إدلب يا الله تعال بضع
These dramatic pictures were captured by an Al Jazeera team who were filming in a makeshift camp when an attack happened. The pictures show a missile falling near civilians who had fled the bombing of their neighborhoods in Kores in the nearby Hama countryside. Al Jazeera correspondent Milad Fadal, along with men, women and children around him, desperately tried to find the nearest cover.
A magnitude 7.1 earthquake in Peru early Sunday morning has claimed one life and caused 57 injuries, according to officials in the country. The early morning quake was centered 25 miles from Acari, a small town in southwestern Peru. President Pedro Pablo Kuczynski said on Twitter that he's en route to the affected region to verify the magnitude of the damage and send the needed humanitarian aid. Earlier, the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center warned of, quote, hazardous tsunami waves for some coasts, saying there was a threat to some coasts of Peru and neighboring Chile.
Emergency workers are helping residents displaced by the threat of a landslide at Rattlesnake Ridge near Yakima. In an update today, officials said every resident from the high-risk area is now evacuated and they're getting help with long-term housing needs. The slide is moving about 18 inches every week.
Wow.
Right now, crews, though, are scaling back the work where the earth is splitting so that everyone's ready to go when the landslide actually happens. The Washington Department of Geological Resources now says the slide will likely happen in March. Of course, they can't be sure.
NASA's Parker Solar Probe mission is about to embark on a historic journey to our very own star, the Sun. Named for Dr. Eugene N. Parker, whose contributions have revolutionized our understanding of the Sun, Parker Solar Probe will usher in a new era of exploration. It's a mission of extremes. The spacecraft will plunge through the Sun's atmosphere, called the corona, and fly closer to the Sun's surface than any spacecraft in history. More than 7 times closer. The Sun's surface is hot, at temperatures exceeding 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But the real surprise is, its atmosphere is even hotter, 300 times hotter. Facing the corona's brutal heat and radiation conditions, Parker Solar Probe will finally provide answers to some of the most important questions about how our Sun works. As Parker Solar Probe speeds around the Sun making these measurements, it's moving at over 430,000 miles per hour. That's like traveling from New York to Tokyo in less than a minute. This mission is the culmination of 60 years' work by the best and brightest scientific and engineering minds. Today, our technology will let us achieve our dreams, to reveal the secrets of the corona and our Sun, and to one day help better protect technology from the threats of space weather. In 2018, we will launch Parker Solar Probe, humanity's first mission to touch the Sun.
Hawaii Representative Tulsi Gabbard revealed the panic experienced by her constituents after the questionable events surrounding a nuclear missile drill that terrified Hawaiians for 38 long minutes.
The father who had 2 kids who were in different places on the island, and he had in those seconds to make a decision about which of his children he was going to go and spend the last minutes of his life with.
But I wasn't going to shoot a video or live report today because we didn't have enough information. Then I began to get calls from my CIA sources, my high-level Army intelligence sources, and analysis from my Delta Force sources, and just many others, that there is no way that this was an accident and that somebody pushed the wrong button, because there's 5 fail-safes. These are not computerized systems. They get computerized readings, but then humans have to flip off or on 5 switches to then manually activate the alerts. Then I get some more phone calls and they're like, why aren't you covering this? This is huge. This is gigantic. This is meant to embarrass Trump. This is meant to destabilize things, and it's meant to distract from the fact that there were uranium-1 indictments that it turns out came out yesterday that nobody noticed, that broke today. Those are on Infowars.com with people connected to the Clintons. The indictments have happened. And also that there was reportedly, evidence shows, a second shooter in Vegas in the new FBI search warrants. And that indeed, as our hostage rescue team sources and the FBI told us the day after it happened, that what we broke on air from our sources is exactly what's in those, and that he was an arms dealer, and it was an arms deal gone bad.
Meanwhile, all eyes are on Pyeongchang, South Korea, as the 2018 Winter Olympics begin on February the 9th. Will North Korea's presence at the Winter Olympics, via their athletes and North Korea's answer to the Spice Girls, open an opportunity for North Korea to put their guard down and come to the table, or will it all spiral out of control?
Well, we hope it won't happen again, but part of it is that people are on edge, but maybe eventually we'll solve the problem so they won't have to be so on edge.
Have you communicated with Kim Jong-un? Can you clear up your comments?
Well, we'll see what happens. They have a couple of meetings scheduled, a couple of additional meetings scheduled. We'll see what happens. hopefully it's all going to work out. We will see.
Have you talked directly to him, Mr. President?
Well, the Wall Street Journal, as you know, quoted totally wrong. But we're going to see what happens with North Korea.
But Kim Jong-un continues to move forward with more tests despite international sanctions. Reuters reports foreign ministers from around 20 nations gather on Tuesday to discuss how to curb North Korea's nuclear ambitions through diplomatic and financial pressure. But China, seen as a key player in any long-term solution, will be absent. The panic in Hawaii should remind everyone of the razor's edge we are all tap dancing on under the threat of nuclear war. Fortunately, a majority of North Korea's longer-range missiles are still in development, but how long before they become fully operational? John Bound reporting for Infowars.com.